Can you charge the Insta360 X5 while it is connected to the Boya mic? And the answer is apparently yes, but there are some caveats here. So I'm going to run you through a few things that should help you figure this out. This was a specific request by a subscriber. I don't know if they're a subscriber, but somebody that commented. The short and simple answer is you can use power to the X5 through the Boya microphone and get audio. The mic is on my chest right here, so you can hear this audio. The audio that you're currently listening to is coming straight from the X5. I have that audio running through this little thing. So I just wanted to make sure that part is clear. There's a bunch of troubleshooting that I had to go to kind of figure this out, only because if you unplug this cord, you lose audio, and then if it will reconnect, but then there's a lag with the way that it connects the video. So there's a few things that I think you are worth watching about the rest of this video, but the short answer is, from my tests, you get both of these perfectly fine. My thinking is, if you're going to use it powered, make sure that you have the mic set up exactly how you want, then plug the power in and then press record. Otherwise, there seems to be some glitches, like if I was to pull this mic out right now, it might create a lag in the audio, or if I was to unplug this, it's definitely going to create an issue for the audio. And those are just some things to be aware of. But if you have it all set up, like the mics are connected, the thing is plugged in, and then you start the recording, you should be fine. I'm going to stop the recording right there. So now the audio that you're listening to is coming from this Holland Lark M2 right there. And again, I really like the Boya mic. I think it's got some great opportunity. Another thing that I discovered that you'll see later in the video that I tested wrong was that you can change the mics over to stereo or mono if you want to. So you could use each of these mics and have separate channels going into this. That is something that I'm fairly confident will work. I didn't test that, but it did allow me to at least change the setting, and I'm assuming that that would work going into this, but that is an assumption. So maybe I'll test that later. But I wanted to get this video out today just to make sure that you knew, anybody else out there, that this is possible. You can power the X5 while recording audio through the Boya, and it sounds good, unless this test just went really wrong, right? So check out the rest of the video. Remember, you can, just check out the rest of the video. So as you can see, it is charging, all right? If I actually turn this off right now, you're gonna see this, it's gonna switch over, and it should automatically, unless I need to press this button, okay. Yeah, there we go. So it automatically switched over and it is charging. So power is being delivered. I don't know if the power is being delivered while the camera is on. We're gonna check that out in just a second. But from what I can tell, that's working. Now, there's a couple of catches with this that I've at least figured out in my initial things. So you'll notice right now that the mic is technically showing that it's connected, and it's showing right here, but there is no audio coming through, right? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, nothing is there. If I pull the power off, okay, we still have nothing here because the mic is, oh, no, there it is. So that just came through. So I'm not quite sure what is going on there. Another caveat here is that if you update the X5 to the newest firmware, the Boya mic does not currently work. I just tested that. And the audio that you're hearing right now isn't coming through the Boya. I'm just using this to show that the audio is coming through there. So you can see that. And I'll show you some audio in a second. All right. So this is the situation that we are currently at. If I plug this in now, watch what happens to the camera if I plug this in. All right, so I don't see anything that would indicate that changed, but I'm not 100% sure because the battery is definitely not draining, but there is no signal that's changing here. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and pop this off, pull this guy out, and let's see what happens if I just plug the USB-C in, if that changes. All right. So I am not seeing anything that would indicate that the battery is charging there. All right. Let me go ahead and plug in another powered USB-C, and we will see this. So my goal is to answer all your questions as quickly and simply as I can. All right. So again, not showing that it's charging, but I do believe it's holding that charge. All right. That's just my guess based on this situation, but I could be wrong. So we'll see that in just a second. But either way, what you're gonna wanna do is plug in the dongle first, all right? Plug in the dongle first. Make sure you have the mic connection, which it should connect in just a second. There it is, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. So we have this, and that is going. I'm gonna go ahead and hit record right now. Testing, okay. So the audio that you are going to be listening to right now is coming from the Boya mic. And what I can say is I've been really impressed with the audio that comes out of this thing. All right. I think that Boya did a really good job with whatever AI noise canceling features they have built into this. And I really like one of the features, which is you can pull out the second mic and have a second audio chain coming in while leaving this first one right here. If you leave that top one in, and you pull out the second one, you can have 2 channels rolling into this, which I think is pretty cool. One caveat to that is if you put the mic back in here, it will automatically disconnect and it turns this thing off. So when you place the mics back in here, they tell it to turn off. Just be aware of that. All right. But that is the audio that we are getting right now. So what we're going to go ahead and do is place this guy into there. So if I just plug this guy in, let's see if anything changes in regards to notifications on the camera. And I'm not seeing anything. All right. It looks like the audio is still going strong. It looks like the battery power is doing whatever it's supposed to be doing. And if I press this button, nothing changes there. Okay. So if the audio was still good through this, then I would assume that we can power this, even if it's something like that, while we're recording with the Boya mic. But let's go one step further. So the next thing that we're going to test is just popping this off. And I don't know if this is affecting. Okay. Something happened when I did that. When I unplugged it, it's like the audio switched. So we'll see if this actually still works. And we will plug this guy in now, and let's see what that does. Okay, it definitely changed something there. So you can see that display that we are at 100%. Now I'm not getting a mic anymore out of this. You see how we lost the mic? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. So something happened when I did that cost me the microphone. And let's see if we can get this back. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. And now we have the audio back. So I'm not quite sure why that did that, but we definitely lost the mic in the process of plugging and unplugging stuff. However, if we now have the audio back, then we should be good, would be my guess. I'll look in the audio files after this. If I plug this, yep, there it is. Motion seems to affect the mic. And then when I plug it in, it looks like that's also canceling it. So let's see what happens in just a second. If I plug this guy back in, what happens to the mic? Is that what's costing us? No, that did not impact anything. Huh. So I am not sure what caused us to lose the microphone in that. Oh, okay. That brought it back. All right, let's see if I plug in the battery bank again, what that does, if that pops up the charge. There you go. So, okay, so it showed a charging icon there for a second, and then it went away. And I'm not quite sure if that means that it's not charging or what else is going on. But this is what you can see from the X5 and the audio. And I'll have switched back and forth in the audio in this one just so you could get that idea. Let's see what happens if I pull this out. Now that definitely lost my power. Testing, 1, 2, 3, and it's back. So I'm not really sure why oh, nope, now we lost it. Now it's gone. Okay, so this just turned off. So there's definitely something going on when I'm removing this power source that is different from the other one. So this audio is coming from the camera thing. And there you have it. That would be the answer to the question about whether or not we can power this while doing that. And I hope this really helps you. Anyone else is trying to figure that out, just remember that the current, at least as of the making of this video, the current X5 software does not allow it to work. I just left this X5 on the old firmware so that I didn't have to give up the Boya mic yet. All right, and hopefully they'll fix that in a firmware update that Insta360 will do. I think it's just impacting the USB-C mic in general. So we will test that. But there you go. There's your answer. And I definitely recommend the Boya mic. I think that they did a great job with their audio stuff. And hopefully this showed you that. But we will see. We'll see after this when I test it. But really nice little feature here. And I think it's a good mic. Plus, like I said, you can split this and get a mic on you and then a mic on whatever else you're doing, which I think is a great feature of this. And it comes with the magnets and everything. This was sent to me. I'm not going to, yeah, the Boya mic was sent to me as part of a collaboration, but that's long gone. And also the way that I do collaborations is not like sponsored sales. It's more just like you've seen here, just an exploration, trying to answer questions and figure stuff out so you can make the decision for yourself. Okay? Hope this helped you. Let me know if you have any other questions. Please comment them down below, and I'll see if I can get to those videos in the future. You're either going to sink or swim, so let's rise with the tide, and I'll see you on the flip side.